to the Ministry of Education, Adamu, to proffer solution to the prolonged industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. The president gave the directive earlier today during a meeting with relevant government ministries, agencies, and departments, where he received briefings on the current face-off with the university union since the 14th of February, among other issues. Although it is not unusual for the president to hold briefings with the ministers, it was gathered President Buhari placed a high premium on the issue of resolving the lingering ASU strike. President Buhari also ordered that the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, as well as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, must be in attendance in all the meetings involving the matter to speedily resolve the crisis. In the meantime, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has insisted it will not back down on the strike by members of the union across the country, which is currently in its 5th month. ASU National President Professor Emmanuel Ashudeke stated this on Tuesday while briefing reporters in Abuja, the nation's capital. He said the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, should be blamed for the present situation. Lecturers and government-owned universities embarked on a nationwide strike on the 14th of February over the adoption of the Integrated Personnel Payroll Information System, IPPIS, of the government as a payment system in the university sector. They had also decried the poor funding of universities, non-payment of salaries and allowances of some of their colleagues, as well as the inability of the government to pay earned academic allowance to lecturers, among other issues. To security matters now, the Borno State Police Command has arrested 67 suspects for illegal possession of arms and drugs across Maiduguri, the state capital. Commissioner of Police Borno Command Abdu Umar says the arrests were made in the last 2 months in an effort to rid the state of crime. Jesse Tafida reports.
These suspects were arrested by the Nigerian police for committing various offenses, ranging from being in possession of dangerous weapons and drugs suspected to be marijuana, armed robbery, and rape.
For security of lives,
parading the suspect before newsmen in Maiduguri, the police public relation officer ASP Sani Shatambaya disclosed that 11 among the suspects were arrested for armed robbery and house burglary in various parts of the state. He reveals that the suspect had been using the weapons to cause public disturbance with threats to people's life.
This is not unconnected with the gallantry and unwavering efforts of the personnel of the command, as well as the information provided by some good citizens of the state. I urge the members of the public to cooperate with the police and other security agencies in order to deliver our mandate.
The police, in collaboration with personnel of NDLEA, arrested other suspects for being in possession of dangerous drugs.
Suspects being caught in possession of drugs suspected to be Indian hemp are unfortunately mostly youth who are supposed to channel their energy and ability toward a profitable venture. We shall continue to reiterate the fact that Borno State Police Command is working hard to ensure that the state is not a safe haven for criminals and unguided elements. No criminal in the state will go unpunished.
The police noted with concern the growing number of youth being in possession of dangerous weapons, causing life-threatening injury to some unsuspecting members of the public. The suspects will be charged to court after preliminary investigations are completed. The police expresses commitment to tackle crime in the state. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
In Delta, police have arrested a 23-year-old man for allegedly killing his girlfriend over disagreement. Also in Isoko North Council area, 3 murder suspects were allegedly strangled their employers, a married couple, and robbed them of their valuables and raped the wife, are now in custody. Delta State Commissioner of Police Mohammed Ari, who paraded the suspect at the State Police Command headquarters, said proactive step of collaborating with members of the public and relevant stakeholders is yielding results. Ikenna Amechi reports.
According to the police boss in Delta State, over 100 suspects were arrested in the past 1 month as a result of the robust partnership with various stakeholders and members of the public in assisting the police to fight crime. Among the suspects is this 23-year-old young man here who allegedly murdered his girlfriend, Gift Oloku, over disagreement and damage to his iPhone.
I beat her with machetes. I didn't know it was going to happen that way. It was seriously a mistake. I don't have the intention of killing her or anything.
Investigation, however, revealed that a fight ensued between both of them over a disagreement. The suspect claimed that she damaged his phone, iPhone 11 Pro Max, while they were fighting, which angered him, and he used a machete on her.
For these 3 suspects, the killing of their employer and his wife is what they were apprehended for.
So I told them now we can't go inside. As we go inside, the man sit down. So as the man, they will come use rope to attack the man for neck.
In their quest for money making to buy phones and data, they stormed the house of their employers. That is the victim, the 2 victims, the man and his wife. They robbed them, and during which they killed the couple. 2 of the suspects, Chukwu Sunday and Yomachi Paul, also raped the man's wife even before they killed her.
On parade here also are these pregnant young women rescued from a baby factory syndicate who sell babies born by the young ladies, 5 suspected tricycle thieves, and this man who killed his 18-month-old son for ritual, and over 70 cultists.
The successes recorded so far by the command wouldn't have been made possible without the support of Deltans, who have been, of course, been very supportive and very passionate about their security and well-being.
The police also arrested 2 suspected kidnappers who adopted this young man and collected ransom and his car. Arms and live ammunitions were also recovered alongside phones, POS machines, and other items. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
For now, it appears residents of Lagos are yet to comply with the Inspector General of Police's ban on spy number plates. This was evident as officers of the State Command on Tuesday intercepted some car owners flouting the order. Senior correspondent Ivy Kano reports.
The enforcement team, comprising of officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Nigeria Police, setting out. The team's destination is Lekki, Lagos Island, and environs. Finally, they made the Lekki toll gate the enforcement point. They didn't have to wait for long before the team started spotting vehicles with not just spy number plates, but also those that covered their number plates. Though every vehicle owner has a period of 3 months in which to register his vehicle, this owner has been driving without number plates since 2021.
Do you know you have committed an offense for not having identification number on your car for over a year?
Yeah, they stopped me because I refused to fix my plate number. So then I explained to them that the where I'm supposed to connect the plate number, the screw are rust.
I'm aware about the ban on spy plate numbers. Also for citizens to have plate numbers on their vehicles too as well. However, I'm not aware that you're supposed to have a police report if your plate number is actually missing.
The Inspector General of Police gave an order instructing his men to enforce a total ban on vehicles that have the spy number plate on it. Now it's been dramatic as some of the drivers insist that they've not heard anything about the ban. And some pushed their luck by putting a call to certain people to stop the police from carrying out their duty. However, those calls didn't deter the police.
Yes, I'm the one, sir.
People that know some big men in town or some senior police officers. Yes, and we speak to them and explain to them why we are here, that we are here to retrieve spy number plates. And the moment they understand that it's a directive from the force headquarters, they comply. So you could, I'm sure you have seen the number plates we have retrieved today.
You've not made any arrests?
Yes, that's the instruction from the force headquarters, that all we have to do is retrieve, confiscate these number plates. Nobody is to be arrested.
Though some claimed they weren't aware of the ban, police said enforcement will be continuous. Ivy, Kano, TVC News, Lagos.
Elsewhere, more than 1,000 houses and properties have been submerged by flood in Gujba and Gulani local government areas of Yobe State. The unfortunate incident has sadly left many of the affected victims homeless, while their sources of livelihood have been hampered by heavy downpours. Michael Oshoma has details of the story.
For the past 2 days, it has been raining cat and dogs in Yobe State. Many communities, including those within the state capital, have suffered flooding. But residents of Gujba and Gulani local government are the most affected, with many of them now homeless. The state government visited the areas to see for itself.
In Gujba, there are 2 communities with over 500 houses have been totally washed up. And in Gulani local government, we have visited 3 places with over 700 houses totally washed up. Their means of livelihood has been completely taken to zero level. And those 2 local governments, unfortunately, were the 2 local governments that were just recovering from the shocks of the Boko Haram.
The bridge linking the 2 communities has also been eroded by the flood.
The bridge linking the Gulani local government capital and the 8 remaining wards of the local government area to Damaturu and part of the country has been completely cut off.
Residents of the 2 affected local government areas, Gujba and Gulani, are just trying to pick up the pieces of their lives after a decade-long insurgency, which had rendered many of them homeless in the past. Now, these floods have again destroyed their houses, leaving many of them without shelter. What an unfortunate incident. The state government has appealed to the federal government for urgent humanitarian action to alleviate the suffering of the victims.
We are appealing for Mr. President through the NEMA and the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs to immediately come to the aid of the state government to alleviate the sufferance of these 2 local government areas.
The affected villages are Kukua, Bunigeri, Bularafa, Bomsa, Bara, and others. Michael Ushoma, TVC News, Yobe State.
You're watching Nigeria Today. Let's turn to the nation's capital, where Nigeria is appealing to other continents to support development on the African continent in order to make it the next investment destination. The National Coordinator, African Union Development Agency, Gloria Kobundu, made the appeal at the opening of a 3-day capacity-building workshop on the use of technology for sustainable agriculture in Nigeria. TVC News' Joke Adisa reports.
A gross domestic product of $432.29 billion in 2020, Nigeria ranks as the largest economy in Africa. But statistics show that 4 in every 10 citizens, representing about 80 million people, live in poverty with a negative growth per capita. With a spike in insecurity, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations estimates that about 19.4 million citizens will face food insecurity across Nigeria between June and August 2022. The Junkow technology originates from China and has over the years proven to be a good source of agricultural enhancement.
More than 103 countries, perhaps it's 113 countries now are using this technology.
The Junkow technology offers opportunities to smallholder farmers, cattle headers, and entrepreneurs to support themselves and improve their incomes and well-being, as well as protecting their local environments.
NEPAD chief executive says with increasing population, Africa remains the hub of economic growth and other continents will do well to contribute to the realization of its potentials.
Just have to partner with Africa to develop Africa, because our young people are all over. They have this burning energy that we need to exhaust. We need to realign it, align their energy properly for development and economic growth.
The trust of Jankao technology revolves around the trio of fodder production, land reclamation, and mushroom production, which are essential components of pasture development, environmental management, and climate change mitigation.
The capacity building workshop aims at enhancing knowledge and strengthening Nigeria's capacities to improve its policies and programs in support of sustainable agriculture through the transfer of technology as means of eradicating poverty and promoting productive activities, particularly among the poor. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Talking politics, the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has called for unity among political leaders in the country with the objective of providing good governance for Nigerians. Senator Kashim Shettima gave the admonition while receiving a congratulatory visit from members of the APC caucus in the House of Representatives. Ola Wakon reports.
The Abuja residence of the APC vice presidential candidate has continued to receive more guests since its emergence as the running mate to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in the 2023 presidential election. The most recent is the APC caucus of the House of Representatives, led by the Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Idris Wase.
Consider the Parliament of the House of Representatives being our own product from the Parliament. All of us, and I don't believe there's anybody, even among the PDP, that will go out to work against you. We work hard to ensure the success of this party, because this is the first time we are having a presidential candidate from the Senate, a former senator, and then having a vice president from the Senate.
Senator Shettima, having appreciated the federal lawmakers for their congratulatory visit, used the occasion to appreciate President Muhammadu Buhari for providing a level playing field for the most populous aspirant of the party to emerge at the primary.
We have to celebrate our president. The first time in living history that a sitting president showed no any preference and provided a level playing field for the most popular candidate.
He also called on political leaders to unite for the benefit of Nigerians.
We have to unite as a people, irrespective of differences in political affiliations, religious persuasions, tribal or sectional backgrounds, to serve our nation, to serve our nation.
Gombe State Governor was also on hand to congratulate the APC vice presidential candidate. He says Senator Shettima is the most competent for the position.
He's amongst the most competent, most capable, and most trustworthy candidates that we ever find for the party. And his emergence will help us to galvanize the most solidly, because he's solidly on ground and he has the support of all of us, especially those from the Northeast.
The APC vice presidential candidate has also promised to work with Asiwaju Bola Tinubu towards meeting with all aggrieved members of APC in the House of Representatives and other party stakeholders to chart a way forward for progress. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Abuja.
A group of legal practitioners under the Lawyers Network for Bola Ahmed Tinubu 2023 say they would aggressively canvass and promote the candidacy of the All Progressives Congress's presidential standard-bearer, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The convener, Dr. Ajulo, who spoke at a briefing earlier today, said, quote, "Arising from our last meeting in Osun State, we discovered that as lawyers, our place in the society wields so much influence," end quote. Mr. Ajulo promised that the group will harness its enormous influence and transfer it into a national agenda to promote, integrate, and achieve national goals and development through engagement, mobilization, and conscientization of all Nigerians to vote en masse for a nationalist, patriotic, selfless, and astute socio-political engineer in the person of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023. Mr. Ajilo clarified that the lawyer's affiliation is not linked to any political party, religion, or belief, other than the yearning for a better Nigeria.
We, as a coordinated team of over 1 million Nigerians, have decided to be very proactive with our decisions towards shaping the future ahead of 2023. In arriving at the shores of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have considered and evaluated him with other major contenders for presidency. And we realize that his mere disposition and patriotism place him above others. Based on his antecedents, which his opponents themselves admit, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has seen it all. We have no doubt that he will recruit the best hands to manage the current Nigeria challenge, which he has stated severally at various forums as unsurmountable.
Let's talk health now. As the role of a nurse continues to evolve, Nigerian nurses are persistent on expanding their skills to facilitate the best possible health care. While they celebrated the annual Nurses Conference organized by the Lagos State Health Service Commission, challenges and solutions were further highlighted. Inioluwa Popola has more.
Between March 2021 and 2022, over 7,000 Nigerian trained nurses have left the country for greener pastures in the UK. The constant brain drain and poor living conditions of nurses are some of the many issues addressed at the 13th Annual Nurses Scientific Conference. With the First Lady of Lagos State and other dignitaries present, it was a ray of hope for them.
The amount we pay to train our nurses in Nigeria, $2 compared we're using. We're training and another country is poaching. So it's not a plus for us at all. So we need to think again.
We need to create the pipeline that produces enough of our qualified nurses and midwives that even when those of you who are lured away, we hope we will lure you back in time to come back to be educators.
Despite constituting the largest number of healthcare professionals, their dependent and interdependent role is significant to every patient.
The transportation issue, the accommodation issue, the salary is not even growing at all. And you can see that some of the incentives that we're supposed to have is not being given to us. Even the full recognition, autonomy, we are not having it. Unlike when you are abroad, where you will be recognized.
What makes them drift to somewhere else? Do their jobs entail you to have more amount of money being paid to them, incentives, in whatever way that we can have it for them? Then we need to work on this. So that is it. We must have something that should be able to retain them.
It takes about 5 years to become a trained nurse, but more trainings and skills may be required to get the very best. With more investment in the health sector, particularly for the nurses, there may just be a drastic reduction in medical tourism. Inioluwa Popola, TVC News, Lagos.